So I know I just talked about this article yesterday from the Wall Street Journal talking about American women are giving up on marriage. And it definitely got the ladies talking. Lots of women on both my TikTok pages and my YouTube pages were leaving comments, hundreds of comments, because lots of women are opting out. And I do not believe that they're going to see the data, all of the research and the data points of women leaving the dating apps, the dating scene, the marriage scene. They're not going to really see that. But if they are listening to what women say, like this article was, then they will start to get the point. I don't believe that perception and reality have caught up. Now, a lot of women pointed out that the Wall Street Journal was a right-leaning publication, and that is definitely true. But even they see that this is happening. They see the demographic shifts. I do want to point out that this was written by Rachel Wolfe. On that first page that says Matt Chase, I believe that the artwork is done by Matt Chase, but a woman actually wrote this article. I am going to go through some of the comments on both my TikTok page and my YouTube page, but I did want to highlight a couple of things out of this article again. So this part right here, American women have never been this resigned to say single. People are highlighting the fact that resigned is not a great word, but the fact that this is a right-leaning publication, they're like, women are just like ho-hum, as if women are not happy being single or whatever. They're just like, okay, whatever. So I wanted to highlight that part. This part right here, they are responding to major demographic shifts, including huge and growing gender gaps in economic and educational attainment, political affiliation, and beliefs about what a family should look like. And that is absolutely true. How they interpret what is going on definitely speaks to their biases. They see women as being resigned, whereas the feministic side of like my demographic are like, I am perfectly happy where I am right now. I am happy to be single. I have a full life. I have friends. We travel, that kind of thing. But depending on who is writing about the economics and the educational attainment and all of that, they just think that women are just like, okay, this is my lot in life. The numbers aren't netting out, said Daniel Cox, director of the Survey Center at the American Enterprise Institute, a conservative think tank. He ticked off the data points. More women than men are attending college, buying houses, and focusing on their friendship and careers over dating and marriage. And the fact that a conservative think tank knows these things, they know and understand what's going on. I don't think that they know how to change things around. But when you have a conservative-leaning publication and a conservative think tank saying the same thing as women like me, they know where things are headed. And I'm sure pretty sure they know why things are headed this way. I mean, they are seeing college, buying houses. They see what's going on. I just don't think that they care enough to listen to the women to make any changes. This part, a 2022 Pew survey of single adults showed only 34% of single women were looking for romance, compared with 54% of single men. So more men are looking to still date right now. A rise in earning power and a decline in the social stigma for being single has allowed more women to be choosy. They would rather be alone than with the man who holds them back. And this is another point of contention. Women are not alone. They are purposely seeking out friends, hobbies, things to do, traveling, and that kind of thing. They are not lonely. They're just not romantically involved with men. So I want to highlight that these are some of the things that women were saying in the comments. The share of women ages 18 to 40 who are single, that is neither married nor cohabitating with a partner, was 51.4% in 2023, according to an analysis of census data by the Aspen Economic Strategy Group, up from 41.8% in 2000. So women are perfectly fine with being single. It says these numbers don't specify whether women are looking for love or swearing it off, but more nuanced surveys show that single women appear less interested in getting married now than they used to be. They also seem less keen on getting hitched than their male peers. And then finally, this part. In a 2023 Pew Research Center survey of 5,073 adults, 48% of women said that being married was not too or not at all important for a fulfilling life, compared with 39% of men. So About half of women said it's not that important. In a 2024 Wall Street Journal NORC poll, 58% of women aged 18 to 29 said marriage was at least somewhat essential to their vision of the American dream, compared with 66% of men. So more men see this as part of the American dream than women. Now, keep in mind, all of these are polls based on, the different people that they are getting at the time. But it's just what I'm trying to highlight is that more men are all in or want to be in relationships than women. And we're seeing that despite the survey or who's doing the survey, we're seeing it with conservative think tanks, we're seeing it with other research entities. So it is across the board that we are seeing this. Okay, so time for some of these TikTok comments. Mean Girl Megatron said, I decided to never get married to a male when I discovered Red Pill. Now I just assume all men are radicalized conservatives, and those who say they aren't are lying. So no more benefit of the doubt. Doubt their benefits. Keep that in mind. Put that slogan in your brain. No more benefit of the doubts, doubt their benefits. Pretty Brilliant said, a lot of them are lying just to get a woman, and I'm with you. I don't want to try and figure out who's being genuine. Please understand that women are no longer giving the benefit of the doubt. Look, they're doubting. They're just assuming that a bunch of them will be lying. Maya says, I hate that the media always framed this as a crisis rather than women discovering that they were free to be single. Right, we actually have options today. We have opportunities to be financially free as opposed to when we were oppressed and had no choices but to get married. Cake and Lemon says, exactly, we are allowed to do what we want. Be Balm Life says, no one wants to be tied to a house with an angry, lazy man. Cake and Lemon says, who farts and grunts. I'm just a bell girl says, emphasis on angry. Gina says, marriage to me is picking up men's socks and scrubbing their toilet stains. Laura said, who can turn violent? And then Be in Love says, one of my college classmates unalived his wife. Their children were in the house. I never would have guessed he'd be violent. It's scary out there. And that's the thing. How can you vet that type of thing? Who you marry right now is not the person that 10 years in, 11 years, 12 years down the line will do something like that. I Love Tea is wondering, why does the media keep talking about women being educated and having money as bad things and never pointing out that men's growing antisocial behaviors? Queen Christine says they're telling on themselves. Eileen says, I truly believe that's why our government wants to get rid of this app. As women, we are awake now. The rose-colored glasses are gone, and we are much more happier and thriving on our own. And this app gives women the opportunity to share their stories. Women can highlight what it's like to be in a relationship, what it's like to be single, what it's like to travel, create friend groups, create communities that says, no, that's a red flag, that's unhealthy, that's Darvo. We're highlighting all of these things, and they do not want this information disseminated because they want people to remain in these unfulfilling relationships. Jen said, I saw this the other day. Men who won't share domestic chores aren't even rising to the level of a roommate. They're not, because when they get into one of these relationships, they think that they have a wife or a girlfriend appliance that is supposed to serve a man. And we're saying, no. Absolutely not. You need to be participating in the housework. You got to do chores. You got to parent the children. You have to do all of these things. And they're balking at that. They're saying no. And so women are saying, okay, I can do this on my own. I would rather be a single mom than a married single mom. Okay, so that was some of the TikTok comments. I'm going to do a separate video to do some of the YouTube comments. I talked about this article yesterday, and my YouTube subscribers weighed in. So I'm going to share some of the comments on the post that I did yesterday from my YouTube subscribers. Z Beastie says, as an American woman living overseas, this is a global phenomenon. Literally, schools are closing in my city due to low birth rates, and the divorce rate has continued to rise. Belina says, because men and women don't seem to want the same thing. It seems that men are just not interested in whether women are ambitious in their career or not. Bird Feather Tailoring says, because they don't see us as whole humans. They see themselves as more important. Snippet X says, when I was younger, my parents always told me to not worry about dating, leave boys alone. Now they won't shut up about it. I now tell them I'm doing exactly what they wanted. There isn't an actual reason for me to date. Men don't have anything I want. Seabree says, the sex negative thing scared me into not dating now. Now they're asking about kids. Ha ha ha. Nope. Purity culture does harm people. It really says, you know what, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. But as soon as you get into a relationship, you're supposed to just do it with the gusto and know what you're doing. But you can't just turn a switch on and it just comes to you. People have got to understand how damaging purity culture is. Unreal Dreamer says, I heard the same crap growing up. Boys only want one thing, so focus on school. OMG, why no married and no kids? Please, shouldn't have pushed purity culture on me. Susweka says, I was born in the 50s and you were expected to grow up and get married and have children. If I had to do my life over, I would never, ever, ever get married or have children. Beverly says, men still believe young women are available to control. The young ladies that I'm seeing right now are so sharp. They are not going for these old, shriveled up, used up dudes. They are really not. They say it all the time, but these men haven't gotten the update version of what is going on in the world because they refuse to listen to women. They only listen to men talk about what women want, and it's really weird. Allison says, of course men want to get married. Why would they not? Marriage extends their lifespans and enhances their mental health. The absolute reverse is true for women, a fact that they are waking up to, hence their waning enthusiasm. Joe Provolone weighs in. He says, man here weighing in on what the man said at the 14-minute mark. As someone who has watched friends go through divorce, I have seen firsthand the sense of utter loss these men feel when their marriages fall apart. If what he said was true about men not needing marriage, then why do they seek it out so relentlessly? The truth is that if you are a man who respects women, there are many opportunities for friendship and relationships with women. After years of dealing with awful men, the bar is set so low that all you have to do is be a net positive for a woman's life to be a serious consideration. But this part right here, but red pill influencers want to keep their male consumers insufferable, single, and most importantly, angry. If they can influence married or committed men into sabotaging their own relationships, they can create more of these consumers. But none of these men realize the entire red pill movement is misery loves company on a corporate scale. It's a cult of hatred and anger similar to MAGA and creates so much division and chaos in society. This part down here is so important. Both are movements that must and will be defeated. They really must be defeated, and they go hand in hand. MAGA and red pill go hand in hand in its current iteration. It's a bunch of angry men like trying to control women. That's basically where they are. The psychic clarinetist says the audacity of these men to want women to do the housework, family caretaking, when she was financially more successful than him too, and he can't match her on either front is wild. Was woken up this morning by my father throwing a hissy fit temper tantrum and breaking glass, so that was fun. He's a constant daily reminder of what's in store for me if I give a good man a chance. Pass. I hope this Sunday morning is a lot more peaceful for y'all than it was for me. And okay, so this woman right here, she's talking about the woman that there were actually a couple of women in the Wall Street Journal article that were making more money than their male counterparts, but their male counterparts were like, maybe you should just quit working so that you can be a housewife and we can have a picket fence and all of that. And it's just like, where do they get this in their brain that women just want to quit working? In times past, women couldn't work because we were barred from working. So it wasn't a natural choice for us to just be a homemaker. And for many women in the United States, we did work. We just weren't paid fairly. So they need to get the updated version. Someone said that they were 50 years behind us, and then another woman swooped in and said, nah, they're about 100 years behind. They need to get the updated version of what women want. Start to actually listen to what women want from the mouths of women. Otherwise, all of these women, they're going to continue to opt out, especially when they can see firsthand. Like this woman, she woke up seeing her daddy doing all of this. People watch relationships. They don't necessarily even have to get into relationships to know that women get run ragged in some of these relationships. Anyways, there were so many comments. I have lots of comments on both pages. I might even make a part 2 just talking about the commentary. But go ahead and weigh in. Let me know what you thought of the article if you read it, or you listened to the video. Let me know what you think about the current climate of marriage and women opting out. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. And I'm pushing towards 75,000 subscribers on my YouTube page. So go ahead and give me a follow.